I'm going to show you how painting simpler is actually painting better. A good model always starts with some good supports and a good 3D printer with some really good exposure settings. If you haven't got these three things, you're definitely going to have a hard time, and I can't really help you with that, but I do have a suggestion for a good printer, and I keep mentioning this, but it's in the description, so check that out. As for a good model, you can check out the model from this particular video by the sculptors who offered this up on their Patreon, called CA3D Studios. Again, there will probably be a link for them in the description as well. Once my model is printed, I get all the supports off of it and I throw it into this here alcohol bath, and I make sure that everything is cleaned off and there is absolutely no resin left on the surface of the model. I then leave it out to dry for a good few hours before I even start considering to cure the model and then sticking it all together. When I make models for my YouTube channel as a display to show you something, usually I don't use magnets for this, and I just glue these parts together as it makes this job easier and quicker for me. I also figured out that my laser works on these resin parts, which I'm going to use this later on, and I'll show you how I do that when we get to that part. Now that I'm done playing with my dollies like a little child, it's time to actually get serious and start painting this. I use a cardboard box in the back of my shop to spray paint everything when it's raining outside. This is because you don't want rain on your model when you're spraying paint on it, because it makes a very ugly mess. Now getting back to that laser, this is an infrared laser. It also has a blue light diode in it as well, but I used the infrared laser to laser after I had primed the model, and then this gave me a lovely little etch on the top of the surface of the base. I then took some fluorescent pink and sprayed that over the top of it in like a shade, kind of over the top, to create this kind of ambiance on the base and make it look like it was designed like that from the start. For the skin tones of this model, I started out with a black undercoat, which is essentially just a primer, and on top of that I sprayed a white ink. This is to create a volumetric highlight, and this is so that there is some volumes to the skin that I spray on top of this. I'm then going to use some watered down pinkle, which is not actually pinkle, it's this purple pink color from Vallejo, and I'm going to spray that over all the white areas. After I've done that, I'm going to use this transparent red in all the shadows, and this is going to create a very nice color on the underside of the skins. And the reason that I do this is so that it can save me some time, so that I can be more productive in my day. Speaking of productive, this leads me on to this week's sponsor of this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and members who come together to find inspiration and take the next step in their creative journey. For example, if you wanted to learn how somebody else may approach skin tones, you can find that there too. I was particularly interested in this class by Ali Abdal on productivity. Maybe in the future I won't have to answer emails while sitting on the toilet. Skillshare has everything you need to go from passion to paycheck, or even seed your side hustle. Whether you want to build a subscriber base for your email newsletter, use AI tools to increase your productivity, or open your first Etsy shop, Skillshare can get you there. And the best part is they're offering the first 500 people who click the link down below a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So click the link in the description, and thank you Skillshare for sponsoring the video. To complete the skin tones, I'm going to start building my way up through the set of skin tones that I've chosen for this particular model, and this brings me on to the main subject or reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. And this is because I wanted to explain to whoever watches my videos that you don't actually have to paint everything on the model to the highest and bestest and the most good looking it can ever be. You need to pick one most important thing on the model, maybe two, depending on on the model, but in most cases, a very most important thing, and that needs to be painted with some nice gradients from a dark to a light. This gives the viewer something interesting to look at, and everything else after that can essentially just be phoned in, and you don't even really have to try, and you'll still have a good looking model. So in this case, what I'm going to try and present to you in this video is that you should be able to see that by putting all my attention on the skin tones of this model, making sure that they are intriguing, good to look at, nice, shiny, they go from dark to light, they have gradients, they have a load of interest. Everything else can just be pretty much simplified, and it will still look just as good. Usually I would add a tint of yellow over the top of the model once I had done the highlights and everything. In this case, I added the yellow into my brightest color. Maybe you can try this the next time you paint skin tones if you want to get that same effect. Also, I took some fluorescent magenta and sprayed this on the model as well. I feel like this helps. I don't know why. There's something about that magenta that just stands out so nice, and it makes everything look like there's just a million colors in it. It looks great. So I sprayed it on the model, and I'm happy with that choice. Once I was done with all the skin tones, it's time to start blocking in the rest of the model, and that for me is gonna pretty much be the hairs and then the wraps that go around her body. This is essentially Silk because the character's name is actually Silk, and apparently she wears silk for a costume. I don't know. I don't make the rules on this stuff. All I know is that there is silk around her body. And you might be asking yourself, if this is silk, then why, Mr. Groundeffected, are you painting it poo brown? And that is because this is another little trick that I might just, you might hate me for, or you might not, I don't know. But the way I see this, if I paint this just a solid white, you're going to see that it is a super stark solid white. So I'm going to give this a base color of this bony kind of browny poo color, because this is going to be in the background of everything after I've placed the whites over the top. It's going to cover it, but some parts I might be a bit lazy and I might not cover absolutely every single little bit, and so that might be the color that's going to stick out, making it look like I paid more attention than I actually did. As you can see in the background, I'm painting the hair with a little bit of blue out of my airbrush. I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just spraying a bit of blue so it's not just flat black. For the eyes, I painted them flat black, and then I painted white onto the inside to shape them up, and I gave them their irises, which in this case are actually a brown eye color. Now as for that silk, as you can see, my favorite color, Deck Tan, has been brought onto my wet palette once again, and I'm literally going to thin this down about 50-50-ish, and I'm literally just going to paint this over every single last bit of silk that I had originally painted with that brownie color before. And basically what this is going to do, like I said, is going to give us the color that we want to see with our eyeballs, but what's left behind in the little cracks and crevices where I'm way too lazy to get into, you're going to have a little bit of brown, which is going to look like I paid attention. I then painted her nails with one of the second brightest skin tone colors, and then I used the whites from her eyes to paint the tips like a manicure. I painted gloss over eyes, and that's where I called this model done. Hopefully this video made it simple for you to figure out that you don't need too much to make a model look good, and you can still paint a really sweet looking model to put on your shelf with minimal effort. When I started making these videos over 2 years ago, the aim of the channel was to try and teach people, and realistically what I think happens is people get taken up by the amount of information that is on the internet and on YouTube's and all over the place. There is just so much to take in that you end up working way too hard on the thing that you're painting and overthinking it and taking it way too far, and you end up making it ugly by yourself because you've just got too much going on. As they say, you can never fit too many rocks in a bag of potatoes. That is a true saying. Let's just get on to the part where I thank the patrons. That is because if without them, I wouldn't have my lights blinded by the eyeballs that is above my camera. We have new patrons this week, and I want to thank them right now. Vaughan London, Cookie Monster 51, and hey! Thank you, my dudes, for blinding my eyes with the lights of the Patreon. It is now this part of the video where I need to tell you that if you didn't like anything you saw, I don't even care, and it's time for you to now please kindly f*** off. Usually I say words at this part of the video, and my brain does not have any words for me to say. Cut.